Hey, it's Quadix here, and I'm here with part 16 of What If Naruto was Uzumaki, Uchiha, Senju. And you guys smashed the like button in a really short time. So the new like goal is 100 likes because I have school tomorrow and I need sleep, and most of my day is going to be um, spent on school stuff, but I will still upload twice at least daily. Please go watch my new series. It's one of like it has like some of the best writing I have personally seen. The link will be in the description below. It will be the first link. It's called Isekai into Naruto. This is like kind of an isekai anime, like isekai what if, I guess. All the main characters are still there. It's the same time. This guy dies. He's going through like all the villages and clans he can be reincarnated into. He chose his Konoha and the Uchiha clan, and that's where part 1 is. Part 2 will be uploaded tomorrow if it hits 100 likes. And please go watch it and get it to 100 likes. Also, comment Q or any other comments you may have. If you're new, let me know in the comment section down below. If you see someone's new, go say hi to them. I also respond to all comments. And let's get into the story. After doing a few more D-rank missions over the following days, Team 12 stood together at the training grounds. "This is the worst possible start of our career," Uchiha stated tiredly. This is really child labor, sensei." "Quit complaining, Purple-chan," Shikaku responded. "You will be doing these type of missions until you're ready for something more advanced. From now on, we'll do some missions in the morning, and later we will do some training here to keep your skills up." The three genins nodded at him, and he continued. "I want to know, have you guys completed the tree climbing and water walking exercises?" Let me make sure I'm recording. Okay, great. Yup, my mother already taught that to me," Hana responded. Uchiha also nodded. "I have also completed that." Shikaku then looked at Naruto. He knew Naruto had the most chakra out of them all, so it could be difficult for him to control it. But the Hokage had told him that Naruto had spent some time training with Itachi and Shisui, and he wondered what they had taught him. "I also know that, sensei," Naruto responded. Shikaku nodded, pleased. That meant less work for him, not having to explain all the chakra and chakra control things. He could now move on to some advanced training. "That's good. It means you have decent chakra control to start training in your chakra elemental natures." He took out 3 papers from his pocket and held them in front of his students. "Take these chakra papers and channel chakra into them. This will show us what element you have an affinity for." What does chakra element and affinity mean, sensei?" Hana asked in confusion as she looked at the paper in her hand. "There are 5 basic types of chakra elemental natures. They are fire, wind, water, lightning, and earth. Most people's chakra naturally leans towards a certain element," Shikaku explained. I don't know, there was something caught up in my throat. "These slips of paper will help us find yours. It'll tear in half for wind, burn for fire, get soggy for water, crumble if you have earth, and if you're lightning nature, the paper will wrinkle." But crumble and wrinkle are the same thing. Whatever. Oh no, crumble, like, okay, no, never mind. They're not the same thing. He then told them to channel chakra one by one, and it was Hana who was first. She channeled some of her chakra into the paper, and as a result, the paper crumbled. "You got an affinity for earth," Shikaku said. He then told Uchiha to do the same, and her paper got soggy. "So I got an affinity for water," Uchiha muttered. Then it was Naruto's turn, who quickly channeled his chakra into the paper, already guessing that the paper would burn because of his ability to use fire style jutsu. So he was surprised when the paper split in half and then both parts wrinkled. His teammates were also looking at him in surprise. That's quite interesting. It's quite rare combination you got there, Shikaku said with a raised eyebrow. Wait, does that mean, Yujiro questioned confusingly. It means he has an affinity for both wind and lightning, Shikaku responded. I can see that, Sensei, but how can he have affinity for two elements? Yujiro asked. You see that people's chakra naturally leans toward a central element, and yet here he has two chakra natures. Well, this is true, but some people are gifted naturally with two elements. You can also develop your second affinity by training in it, and you can also do jutsu of other elements, but that will take too much chakra out of you at your stage. Most jonins have two chakra natures, as it is one of the requirements for becoming a jonin, Shikaku explained. But you also should be aware that all five chakra elemental natures balance each other out equally, Shikaku said. How? Hana asked. To put it simply, fire, water, lightning, wind, and earth each have an elemental advantage and disadvantage connecting them to the other elements, Shikaku explained. For example, fire is stronger than wind, but at the same time, it's weak against water. Each element has an advantage over another and is weak to another. That is so complicated, Hana said, rubbing her forehead. You guys wanted something interesting today, so I decided to give you something, so don't bother me about it. Shikaku shrugged. I shouldn't be even teaching you about this. Many shinobi don't start their elemental training until their tuning level, but you guys have enough chakra, so I decided to go with it. So, what are we going to do now, Sensei? Naruto asked. Shikaku just shrugged his shoulders. Unfortunately for you guys, I am not a ninjutsu specialist, so I will have to arrange something for you all. But don't worry, I will get some low-level jutsu tomorrow for you to start with. Also, I am going to apply some weight seals on you three, so you will do your daily missions and training with the seals on, Shikaku added. It will help to increase your speed and improve your chakra control. He then applied the seals on them and activated them. At their activations, the genins suddenly struggled to stand straight. I think you're trying to kill us, Sensei. At least show us some mercy, Hana muttered. You'll get used to it in time, Shikaku said. Don't you want to get strong? Now come on, give me 20 laps of the field. You're crazy, Yujiro and Hana muttered at the same time. Naruto was also having a little difficulty, but not as much as the other two. Itachi and Shisui had used some weights before for him to train, but these were much heavier. He realized as he joined his teammates in the run. Some hours later, the three genins were sitting and relaxing quietly after their hard workout session. After running, they had done some shuriken jutsu practice, some taijutsu training, and then decided on their team formation. I'm so tired, Hana muttered. You all did well today. Get used to this from now on. This will be our daily schedule, Shikaku told them, and got a glare from Hana and Yujiro in return. Naruto looked up at the sky and realized that it was already evening and the sun was going to go down soon. He stood to leave. Where are you going, Naru? Yujiro asked. The sun is going to set soon, he answered. So I'm going to enjoy the view as I have nothing else important to do right now. His teammates and sensei looked at him in surprise. Well then, can I come with you? Hana said. I also don't have anything to do. Naruto thought for a moment and then nodded. Hana grinned at him, then looked at Yujiro. What about you, Yujiro? Yujiro nodded and looked at their lazy sensei. Come on, sensei, come with us. Troublesome, Shikaku muttered before accepting their offer. It would be good bonding time. Hokage Monument. Wow! Both Hana and Yujiro stood in awe at the view before them. They were standing They were standing on the fourth Hokage's head, looking at the sunset as it ignited their whole village into a fiery work of art. This was so beautiful. I have never seen anything like this in my life, Yujiro whispered. I always used to come here with the Hokage to enjoy the view. It's always peaceful here, and it's the only place I can talk to him, Naruto said, looking at the great stone faces of his father. Shikaku and his teammates smiled in response. Shikaku was enjoying the time as well. Just leaving any troublesome thing behind while relaxing was the exact kind of thing he liked to do. Can I ask you something, Naruto? Yujo said, breaking the silence. Naruto looked at her and nodded. Why didn't you ever talk much in the class? She asked. Naruto thought about his academy days. He had his priorities clear from the start, even before the academy, and he had not been there to have fun or to make friends, and nobody had really interested him there. To him, all the other students had seemed to have it easy and knew nothing of the outside world. He looked at her. There was nothing to talk about, and nobody understood me there. They were all living in their fantasy world, thinking nothing was wrong in this world. They were not doing anything wrong with that, Shikaku said. That's what they were supposed to do, and that's what you were supposed to do. That's why we have an academy to let students make friends before becoming ninjas. Then why did you start to talk and hang out with us? Hana asked. Naruto chuckled a little before saying, You guys were the first one who came to me to talk without crumbling or just telling me how strong I was or how cute I was or asking me out on a date. Which girl in her right mind would like to go out on a date with you? Yujo muttered, earning a glare from him. Are you serious? Hana said with a surprised look. Naruto nodded. Why did you want to become a kunoichi? I am not from any clan, and even in my family, not many people become shinobi, Yujo answered. Only my father and grandfather were shinobi. I'm actually the first ever kunoichi from my family, so I wanted to become as strong as possible so I can make my parents proud of me. I also wanted to become a kunoichi to make my mother and my clan proud of me, Hana said. Naruto nodded, not really surprised by their responses. He had already heard that kind of thing from others as well, but at least they were serious with their training and their careers. You know, you always say that you want to become Hokage, but you never mention any particular reason, Yujo said. Is it because of who your ancestors were and wanting to live up to them? Naruto hesitated to tell them his reasons. The last time he had told his dream to his former classmates, they had laughed at him. He wondered if his teammates would understand him. That's not totally wrong. I want to live up to my predecessors' names, but my main reason is that I want to stop all the fighting in this world. His answer seemed to surprise his teammates. What do you mean by that, Naruto? Shikaku asked. Naruto looked ahead towards the setting sun and thought for a moment before he spoke. I may not have seen any war or any dying in front of me, but I know war brings meaningless deaths and suffering. Shinobi kill each other in the name of the village, but to stop that I need power, and the people only listen to those who have power. So I want to be the greatest ninja ever, great enough that I can erase all meaningless fighting from this world, and being Hokage will give me the power to do that. I'm surprised to hear you talk so mature, Shikaku said. You're only 10 and yet talk of the shinobi world as if you have experienced it. Yeah, you sometimes talk really weird, Yujo said. It's very hard to figure you out. The moment I think I understand you, you go and say something like this. Naruto chuckled a little, but there was some bitterness in it. I can totally agree with you on that, Yujo, he said. I don't even know myself up till now. I'm still trying to figure myself out. I am the Jinchuriki of the Kaibi, just a village weapon to be used in war. Or am I Naruto Uzumaki, on whom some people trusted what they had left behind? He spoke bitterly. So many people expect great things from me, and it felt like a burden. Stop talking nonsense, Yujo said, glaring at him. I told you before, it doesn't mean if you have a fucking Kyuubi seal in your gut, or if you're the son or great-grandson of the Hokage. You're still your own person. You have your own life in front of you to do what you want. Nothing is written in stone, and everyone carves their own path. And stop putting so much pressure on yourself because of your family name. The Naru I knew will never crack under any pressure. He can overcome anything. Naruto looked at her in surprise and then smiled a moment later. When did you become this smart, Purple-chan? Hana and Shikaku smiled at them. Alright, that's enough. It's getting late, Shikaku said. Go and rest. You will have a busy day again tomorrow. He wanted to leave as soon as possible because he had some very important topics to discuss with the Hokage. Don't be late tomorrow, he added before vanishing into the leaves. The Genins looked at each other and then bid each other goodnight before leaving their separate ways. Okay guys, I'm gonna end it there. I hope you enjoyed. Get this to 100 likes for the next part. Check out my new series. The link will be in the description, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye.
And today